Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Arijit Paul. I'm a trainer for Chat GPT course from Uplatz. Today's topic is Introduction to Chat GPT. Is the first module, and upon this module, we have a subtopic of what is Chat GPT and its everyday application. So, we are embarking on an exciting journey into the world of AI, into the world of conversational AI. ChatGPT is one such tool which will help us into being more productive. And this is a very important part for our career and for our development as well as our growth. So, like, this is something which we are doing as a basis for being more able to understand ourselves, of how we can make the most use of our time, and then we can use this tool into getting so much more ideas into this world of AI, which is artificial intelligence. Before everything, just like to mention what is ChatGPT. So, in order to explain that, let me take the help of the tool itself. So, if I just type what is ChatGPT and just prompt it here we get to know the basics of the entire answer into a short wave form, where GPT stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer. So it is a type of intelligence model developed by OpenAI for natural language processing tasks. Basically, it was rolled out to the public in 2022, and from then, ChatGPT has been one of the fastest growing tools in the world of AI. Here, if we can understand AI in a better way, then I can be able to reflect of what sparked this interest in AI. So, in order to understand that, let's ask ChatGPT in a very short way or a short prompt, like what AI stands. Give me a second. Yeah. So if we just prompt this and just ask ChatGPT itself, what makes ChatGPT and AI so interesting? Just gives out a prompt in terms of natural language abilities and gives us a very short answer into a very short amount of time. So we can be able to summarize it into five categories. Let me start by saying it's a natural language understanding and generation, where ChatGPT and similar AI models, similar LLM models, they demonstrate a remarkable ability to understand and generate human-like text. The ability to process, the ability to understand language, the ability to connect is something which we have never seen into this world of AI. And this opens up a whole lot of possibilities. A whole lot of applications can be opened up and can be used in terms of, let's say, customer service, in terms of language translation, content creation, and many more other fields. And one of the more important parts in point number two is adaptability and learning, where AI models like ChatGPT are designed to continuously learn and grow as we are typing, as we are using this tool. So it kinds of generates a understanding where we are able to keep the model trained by our prompts, by being more efficient and being more productive. It's something which adaptability has been a very important and a very crucial uh, task for handling, diverse kinds of tasks and staying relevant in dynamic environments. So it's very important to be accurate and to be brief. Another thing is the creative potential which ChatGPT and AI models have shown to generate creative and imaginative text. So in ChatGPT, we have certain kinds of innovations in terms of whatever prompt we are enabling it to be, and it comes up to a very creative response, and we can also assign certain kinds of modes and ways into which we can derive maximum insights. It's also very automated and efficient, where the process to automate various kinds of tasks, which requires traditionally it required human intervention. Now, with the help of ChatGPT, the automation is leading to increased efficiency, cost savings, and also it's scalable across the industry, such as customer service, such as data analysis, and also content creation. Personally, I believe content creation is one field where ChatGPT has grown a lot, and we can use and optimize ChatGPT in a in all the ways which I have possibly said. But yeah, I will definitely come up with some more creative topics so that the content creation part gets more highlighted. So yeah, you can say that the ethical and societal implications is also important for the development, deployment of AI models, because it raises a lot of questions about privacy, bias, fairness, and the impact on the job market. So a lot of presumptions can arise that what if our jobs are at risk due to Chat GPT, or is AI gonna take away our employment? So well, that is something which we can talk about on a separate day. But if we can use Chat GPT, if we can use AI, if we can understand the tool properly, let me assure you, there's no impact on the job market. Rather, ChatGPT will evolve and show, it will definitely lead us to evolve as well. The more we get to understand the tool and make some proper use of it, the more we can be able to control what is going on, how we are able to adapt to the new changes which the technology is advancing. So definitely the impact is there, but understanding and addressing these implications are essential for responsible AI development and deployment. Um, yeah. So if we can go further into this part, let's imagine we are using ChatGPT for customer support. Okay. So just typing a prompt which where we can be understand how ChatGPT is being able to understand us, how it's acting as a customer support executive, and how we can, we can efficiently maximize our skills, and we can efficiently grow if we are able to use this properly and understand this feature well. So if I'm typing a prompt, just follow the format. Definitely, everything will be included, but I'm typing a separate format so that we can be able to understand a few examples. So just denote and let's try to note the writing style of this, because it's very important that most of our prompts are structured in this manner so we can get the maximum efficiency from it. So I'm starting the prompt by saying that act as your so and so. So in this case, we are using ChatGPT as a customer service executive, and just giving an example of what this tool can do. So I'm starting the prompt by saying act as a customer service executive and help me crack an interview for the same role. See, here, just within a few seconds, we are getting around seven different kinds of replies, different kinds of responses, different kinds of immediate prompts to what we want. Here, I've said to act as a customer service executive and help me crack an interview for the same role. Suppose we are having a job opening which mentions that we need customer care executive, or we need someone for chat support, or we need someone from BPO industry. So these are all different terms but carries the same meaning. And here we are using Chat GPT, we're using this tool to understand what we can do or how this is helping us. It's saying that we help you to prepare for a customer service executive interview, starting with understand the company. So here it tells us to research the company you're interviewing with. So just you can go through LinkedIn, you can go through Google, you can go through Glassdoor. So there are certain portals we can all use to understand and the company we will be applying. Highlighting relevant experience. So yeah, this is definitely important. You should be prepared to discuss your experience in customer service roles or any related fields. Communication skills. Customer service executives need strong communication skills. Showcase your ability to communicate clearly. Okay, now here I feel like I am definitely interested in this. If I'm saying something like, help me sharpen my communication skills. We are just using shift and enter, and we are highlighting communication skills. And we can repeat this again. We can just say and act as a chat GPT expert and so we can combine this and then we can highlight communication skills. So here, if we are taking this point number three, there it's showing that customer service executives need strong communication skills. Showcase your ability to communicate clearly, empathetically, and effectively, both verbally and in writing. Here, if I want to know more about this, I'm just pasting it in the next prompt and enabling it. Act as a chat GPT expert and help me sharpen my communication skills. We are using this tool essentially to help us getting this job, which I just assumed. And it's a very important part of the job that we need to have communication skills. So here it's telling, absolutely, I would glad to help you enhance your communication skills. It gives us further 8 points to just have a read and understand each and every point so that we can essentially grow more into the skill. So here what is saying, active listening. Focus on truly understanding what the other person is saying before formulating a response. Clarity and consciousness, empathy and understanding, body language and non-verbal cues. So here, clarity and conscious, it basically means not to use unnecessary jargons, not to use too many complex languages like that might confuse the audience, confuse everyone. So it's just telling to aim for simplicity, aim for brevity, like be very concise and have a clarity of speech. It also reflects empathy and understanding. It's very, very important in the field of communication to have to grow into further into this skill. You need to have empathy and understanding. Body language and nonverbal cues, adaptability, feedback and clarification. It essentially gives us a lot of insights. Here we have problem solving abilities, teamwork and collaboration, adaptability and flexibility. Customer service roles, yeah, they can be unpredictable because yeah, if I can speak from my experience, sometimes the customer can be um, very quick. You might get your resolutions very quickly. Sometimes the customers might take a lot of time. They might not get happy with your resolution, so they might push back. So we need to have this teamwork approach that we can highlight whatever challenges we are facing with our supervisors, with our colleagues. So we can be able to come to a solution. So yeah, essentially, it is giving us some good insights at the end. So it also came with a sample response to a common interview question. So it was it was not essentially and directly mentioned by me. However, ChatGPT also gave us some extra information and to tell that ask a question from the interviewer. The interviewer just mentioned, can you tell me about the time when you successfully resolved a challenging customer issue? So it also gave a response like a template. More, we can talk about templates later, but in short, templates are short responses which we can make our own drafts with. It just generally gives us a rough idea, and we can put our own experiences, share our own stories. We can just change certain words from the entire paragraph. So that's essentially a template. So it gives us a template. Like certainly in my previous role at the company name, I encountered a situation where a customer was dissatisfied with the product they had purchased. They had experienced some technical difficulties and were frustrated with the troubleshooting process they had gone through. To resolve the issue, I listened attentively to the customer's concern, empathized with their frustration. I escalated the issue to our technical support team, who quickly identified the root cause of the problem and provided a solution. Okay, it's a bit long, according to me. So suppose if I say if I am not completely satisfied with the response, we can share it with ChatGPT. We can question it, and by our next prompt, we are essentially improving it. We are essentially making the tool more productive. So we are saying, okay, I'm just using a very basic type of English with the Chat GPT. The more free you talk with Chat GPT, the more tailor-made response you will get. More will come into that later. But I'm using a very formal, I mean, not so formal, a very casual way of approach. There are formal ways of talking with Chat GPT. Also, there are informal ways. So for a very conversational type of approach, the best way is the casual way. So that's how um typing my responses. So the answers will be more tailored with how I'm speaking or how my tone of voice is. So if I'm saying and if I'm just replying it, okay, the answer is too long. I mean, the interviewer might not like it. Right. Just sharing my idea with it. It's got nothing has to do with what ChatGPT will respond. It's just my assumption which I'm sharing. It's important. So, so if I'm saying, can you just make it shorter? It will give a prompt definitely, but it might not understand the context. So just to attach the context, I copied it and pasted it below so that it understands and just did shift and enter. So, okay, hooray. What have we got? Okay, certainly, here's a shorter version. So it essentially understood what my problem was, what my issue was, essentially, what I'm sharing in this conversation, what I'm talking in this video. ChatGPT is not like listening to this, right? But through my words, it certainly understood what I wanted, that this is a very like vague and too long. So just make it short, you know. And here it does. It says certainly here's a shorter version. In my previous role at company name, in which company you have worked, essentially you just put that company's name into here. So if I worked in TCS, I'll say yeah, in my previous role at or in my previous role in TCS, a customer faced technical difficulties with a purchased product. I empathized with their frustration, escalated the issue to our technical support team, and maintained regular communication with the customer. We quickly identified and resolved the problem, leaving the customer delighted and providing positive feedback about our support team. So essentially, this is a much shorter answer and much crisp and more brief. So yeah, it essentially like summarizes it here. Like it says this version conveys the key points concisely while still showcasing your ability to handle challenging situations and deliver customer satisfaction. Let me know if you need further assistance. It just adds at the end that, if we want to like know more, then it will help us. It will help us further. Right? So this is one example of Chat GPT. Another is suppose if I'm not into customer service, if I'm saying, hey, I'm a data analyst for over 4 years. Help me with a data analyst interview and suggest me relevant skills which I should know. 4 years is might be too long. Let's just include most people because data is a domain which is growing and everyone wants to work in the data domain, might be as an engineer or an analyst. So let's say analyst for over 2 years. And later, let's suppose we want to switch, we want to transition. Okay. So we can combine this also. I want to transition to a data engineering role. So if we are just ending our um, topic with a question, can you help me with a possible plan end to end? It might not give a entirely proper response, or it might not give a proper tailor-made and customized format structured plan. So this is something which we need to understand. In order to know prompt, we can definitely ask a question, but I would always mention to start it like this: act as a data analytics and help me with a possible plan on an end-to-end basis. It's always good, for the prompt itself needs to properly be structured. And sometimes it's not the way we want, but definitely chat gpt is something which is growing and it comes up with a response. So that's why we can also ask a question in order to get answer to our prompts. But if we try to make our prompts like act as a so and so, act as a data analytics expert, act as a content creator, it essentially gives us the correct prompt, like it see what it did. So To begin with, the prompt was, I'm a data analyst for over 2 years. Help me with the data analyst interview and says me relevant skills which I should know. Later, I want to transition to a data engineering role, act as a data analytics expert, and help me with a possible plan on an end-to-end basis. It gave us this reply, absolutely. Transitioning from a data analyst to data engineering role involves acquiring additional technical skills and depending on your understanding of data infrastructure and engineering principles. Here's a suggested plan to help you make this transition. It essentially gives us the skills required for data analyst role. It gives it in numeric format and in such a structured way, like data analysis tools, proficiency in tools such as SQL, Python, R, or MATLAB for data manipulation, analysis, and visualization. Statistical analysis, understanding of statistical concepts and methods for analyzing data and drawing meaningful insights. Data visualization, it also mentions the ability to create clear and impactful data visualization using tools like Tableau, Power BI, Matplotlib, Seaborn in Python. So essentially tells us, it just gives us a view from a high level. It's important to give this understanding so that we can keep our basis clear. We are able to understand how we can be able to be more productive and make the most use of what we have. It gives us data cleaning and pre-processing, domain knowledge, communication skills. So communication skills here is still, it's very important in customer service. It's important in data analytics, in data engineering roles. So these skills are very much important if we are trying to, you know, prepare for an interview. We should keep these things covered. Like we can ask this prompt separately. Each and every one of these topics, we can just click here and then we can again ask, please elaborate on the below topic and help me with real business problems. So I want to say business problems and interview questions. So essentially, I just copied the first topic, or we can do one thing. We can combine 2 or 3 topics. According to me, I think I need more insights on data analysis tools, data visualization, and domain knowledge. Because communication we have talked in brief, the other topics are something which we can talk about separately. But for now, I want to know on these topics. So instead of this, we are just pluralizing it. Mm, and and we are suggesting a prompt where we just essentially copied point number on point number, yeah, this point number 1 and point number 3 and point number 5. And now it's giving us, wow, it really gave us a real business problem. These problems are faced in the industry, and Chat GPT had analyzed that behavior. It got trained onto that knowledge, and Chat GPT knows how to deal with such a situation. So here we are saying that a retail company wants to analyze sales data to identify trends, customer purchasing behavior, and optimize inventory management. The interview questions, see, it's essentially it gave us this 5 sample interview questions to practice, right? So here, how would you use SQL to retrieve sales data for the past year from a database? Can you explain the difference between inner join, left join, and right join in SQL? Like if we have to know inner join, it matches the records of 2 tables. Left join, it has the It carries the all the columns of one table and just the matching ones from the second. A right join does the thing reverse. So these things are mentioned here. The questions are mentioned, but the answers are not mentioned. So I know SQL, so I mentioned the answers. But if someone who doesn't know this answer, like, can you explain the differences between inner join, left join, right join? Then what to do? So here, Chat GPT has essentially gave us the questions, and we're saying that okay, I to know the answers to these questions, but here's a twist. So here, this will give us a very basic prompt if we just paste these questions, and if we ask Chat GPT, it will give us a basic answer. It will be good, no doubt. I'm sure it will be great, but how can we make it better? See, the point is we need to be more productive. We need to make things more better. We need to make things more efficient, and we need to make things more, you can say, proper and also the right way. So, in order to get the maximum out of this prompt, I'm saying act as a experienced data analyst of, let's assign certain years, let's assign 10 plus years. So we are assuming that ChatGPT is an expert, a very experienced data analyst for who's working for 10 plus years, and answer these questions in a very simple manner. So essentially, Chat GPT will give us a prompt which will, which will have, see, it will have the knowledge of a data analyst who has been working in the industry for 10 years. There is no person whom Chat GPT is contacting to give these answers, right? So it is essentially acting by itself as an expert, and it's giving us a query in a very simple manner. So in order to get the best answer, we are getting, see what we got. And explain the difference between inner join, left join, right join. Inner join returns only the rows that have matching values in both tables. Left join returns all rows from the left table and the matched rows from the right table. Anyway, it just gave us some certain kinds of questions, also with the answers. So we can be able to prepare for interviews by prompting efficiently if we try to properly give. See, it also essentially codes, gives us the entire comments along with the codes itself. Here it's giving us a question: can you demonstrate how you would use R to perform a linear regression analysis on sales data to identify factors influencing sales performance? So it essentially gives us an answer. I would first load the sales data into a data frame. Then I would use this function and also share the snippet, a code snippet. And this is very much important to, for like, this is very much interactive. It gives a summary in the end and comments it as well. Here, what I haven't missed is the first question, where it essentially gives us a SQL code as well. We can copy this code, and we can also keep it posted. We can also keep it in a notepad. See, essentially, we can combine our SQL queries, where essentially it gives us an answer to retrieve the sales data for the past year from a database. I would use a query like this. It essentially gives us a query, and at the end says this query selects all columns from the sales table where the sales date is greater than or equal to 1 year ago from the current date. We are just essentially copying and we can paste it over in a notepad. So this is amazing. This is how we can get the most out of ChatGPT. These are the two situations which we have discussed. First was in communication as a BPO in non-voice process in a process associate role. And here we discuss data analyst. In the next part of my prompt, I have also mentioned that later I want to transition to a data engineering role, act as a data analytics expert, and help me with a possible plan on an end-to-end basis. So here it also gave us the answer in the second part of this, where it said transition to data engineering. And essentially it gave us 8 points, eight separate points of how we can be able to grow in our career and transition essentially to data engineering role. This is great for someone who is working in data analytics and maybe he's not being properly satisfied with the work or properly is not getting that kind of desired growth, and also possesses a deep understanding and passion for learning new things. So yeah, a lot of persons now want to transition into data engineering role. Here from the data field, ChatGPT is essentially giving us 8 points, which we can use as a starting base. I'm not saying that it will give an end-to-end part, although if we use it in that manner, definitely we can have an action plan. But it gives us the start of the action plan itself. Learn big data technologies, acquire knowledge of big data technologies such as Hadoop, Spark, and Kafka for handling large-scale data processing and streaming. Database management system. Gain expertise in working with relational databases like MySQL, PostgreSQL, and NoSQL databases, MongoDB, Cassandra for storing and querying data. So for most people in as data analyst role, they do have experience with PostgreSQL, MySQL, NoSQL, but like sometimes in NoSQL database knowledge is something which is not very fluent. So this is very good that this has been highlighted because in a data engineering role, database management systems are very important. So, in order to be a data engineer, apart from SQL, you need to know a lot of other things, a lot of other database querying parts, a lot of NoSQL databases are mentioned. It's also given us two example, MongoDB and Cassandra. So, yeah, after this, they have data warehousing, where understand data warehousing concepts and technologies like Amazon, Redshift, Google BigQuery, or Snowflake for building scalable and efficient data storage solution. ETL process, programming skills, cloud platforms. Familiarize yourself with cloud platforms such as AWS, Azure, or Google Cloud Platform, as many data engineering tasks are performed in the cloud environment. So this is important for a data engineer that proper understanding of data warehousing principles, ETL process, data modeling, version control, these things are very important to properly get and transition into the data engineering part. So a day-to-day work and day-to-day activities might not include all these projects or all these subparts. So it's very important to have a knowledge, do your own research, get certifications, and also read books. It's very good to read certain books as well. Possible plan for transition. See, in the end, it gives us a 5 pointer basis of how we can transition our career into a data engineering role. Assess your current skills, evaluate your existing skills, and identify areas where you need improvement or new skills for transitioning into a data engineering role. Online course and tutorials. Enroll in online courses, certifications. See, point number three is important, hands-on projects. So working on hands-on projects to apply your learning and gain practical experience in building data pipelines, ETL process, data infrastructure components. This is very important because hands-on projects will give the manager or the supervisor an understanding that you are really interested, you are passionate. It's just that you haven't been able to land on this role previously. You do have that skill and that ability. Um, Hands-on projects are very important to build that. Networking and mentorship. Connect with professionals in the data engineering field through networking events, online forums, or mentorship programs to gain insights and guidance. And at the end, it's also very important, which is continuous learning. So, ChatGPT was something which people hardly knew 2 years back. Last year, everyone knew about ChatGPT. So, companies are trying to ensure that employees know ChatGPT. They are having Gen AI modules. They're having all sorts of courses so that continuous learning is applied. And here also continuous learning is mentioned, that stay updated with the latest trends, technologies, and best practices in data engineering by reading books, blogs, attending webinars, and participating in relevant communities. This is it. This gives a starting point for the possible plan for transition. Okay. So here it gives us the proper understanding of how we can be able to translate or how we can be able to use ChatGPT to get so much insights. Um, okay. So what if we don't want to properly pursue data engineering or analysis, or we do not also want to perform customer service? Suppose we want more of content, we want to create content. How can we use ChatGPT to create content? So yeah, before embarking on that, as a footnote, I've just noticed it's mentioned ChatGPT can make mistakes. Consider checking important information. So if we are using ChatGPT to make any future prediction or for any personal purpose, it might not give the optimum solution. It might not give the best solution. However, we can tailor it as per our way, as per our needs. But it does make mistakes if we are using something very computational in nature. Yeah, ChatGPT can make mistakes, but this is one such tool which is growing and which is learning continuously. It's learning from each mistake. So you can understand that it won't repeat the same mistake. So it is essentially rectifying and self-correcting itself with the basis of our prompts. That's what ChatGPT is. So here we are saying, I want to start my freelancing business as content creator. Okay, suppose we want to be a content creator. I do not know advanced graphic designing tools. Just saying that we don't have that knowledge. I have an idea about MS Office And Canva. Um, let's just omit MS Office from this. Let's just include Canva. I have a basic idea about Canva. So Canva is a very popular tool which has been used by content creators all over the world. And it is amazing. It has a collection of many templates. So let's say I have a basic idea about Canva. I want to start my freelancing business as a content creation, as a content creator, act as a content expert, and make an action plan for me so that what's the most important part of our business? Uh, Gaining clients, right? So, so let's make it more conversational and let's just say that act as a content expert and make an action plan for me so that I can land clients, right? So here it's starting with certainly starting a freelancing business as a content creator can be an exciting venture. Here's an action plan tailored to help you land clients using your basic knowledge of Canva. Define your niche. Identify your area of expertise within content creation. This could include social media graphics, blog post images, infographics presentation, and etc. So, see, here it's essentially giving us an 8 pointer. Okay. Here, I think it's customized to mostly give 7, 8 points. But if we want, we can improve our prompts. We can say, give me 10 points by using the edit option. I just wanted to highlight another feature of ChatGPT is once we give our prompt, and if we are not satisfied with the total amount of response which we got, suppose it's not a proper plan, it looks small. It doesn't look like a proper action plan, right? If we are want to transition, we want to open a business, and it seemed small. I mean, it seemed very short for someone who wants to design or make a full action plan, which is full-fledged, right? So this is the previous one. Um, Here we have this option to edit the prompt, which is what I did. And here we have the option to copy the prompt. We can also regenerate the prompt. So if I would have clicked on regenerate, I wouldn't have got 10 points. See, here it's giving us 10 points because it's the second one, which has been made after editing. I wouldn't have got 10 points because regenerate essentially will give the same number of points in different ways or will add something new and omit something, but it won't give us 10 points. So if you want something with more response, always edit the prompt and it will give more insights. So here, started with saying define your niche, create a portfolio, establish your online presence, offer packages and pricing, network and outreach, provide value through content, collaborate with other freelancers, offered free or discounted trials, continuously improve your skills, provide exceptional customer service. It gave us 10 points, a 10-point action plan to kickstart your freelancing business as a content creator. It will leverage just your basic knowledge of Canva. So Canva will have everything pre-recorded, like not pre-recorded. Canva will have this predefined templates. So the templates are predefined and we just need to add few things into it. We just need to make a few changes, add a few text, and the entire design is already made by someone else. We just need to make certain minor modifications into it. Define your niche. Identify the specific niche or industry you want to target as a content creator. From the first point, it gives us the niche. What I mentioned, content creator, it's a vast domain. So it needs to have a niche so that we can be able to properly grow as a content creator. It can be social media grabs, blog posts, infographics. So in social media, we have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have LinkedIn now. So these platforms are used. We have Coda, we have Pinterest. Create a portfolio. Build a portfolio showcasing your previous work created using Canva. Include a variety of samples that demonstrate your skills and creativity. This will serve as your showcase to potential clients. Okay. Uh, right. So this line, this will serve as your showcase to potential clients. So it might be that Chat GPT might fumble one or two times with the wordings and everything, but it also makes a sense, and it's not very much used in our daily speech or in our daily way of talking. But yeah, this is something which Chat GPT is very much expert in doing. How it can frame words and just um, create value out of it. Here, point number six: provide value through content. Create valuable content related to your niche and share it on social media platforms like LinkedIn, Instagram, or Twitter, or X, you can say, because Twitter has become X. Um, this will help you establish yourself as an authority in your field and attract potential clients. So, if you post regularly on different kinds of social media channels, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on YouTube, it's very good to have proper channels, right? And everyone will assume that you are an expert into that field. It's important to provide value through content because content is king. There's a saying which I deeply believe in, and uh, definitely content is very much important to give value. Collaborate with other freelancers. Build relationships with other freelancers such as writers, marketers, or web developers. Offer free or discounted trials. This is also important. If we want to start, as a freelancer, then it's very important to give some discounts, give some trials. To If you're starting a cake business, and if I have to say that I want to start a cake business or a bakery business, let's say, help me with an action plan. Let's include one or two more details. I want to use social media. Just a second. Use social media to scale up and grow faster. Act as a social media manager. Now we are essentially telling ChatGPT to act as a manager because we can. Definitely, if we mention this, it will act as a social media manager. If we mention, it will help as a social media expert. So definitely, it will contain more managerial points. And if it comes to the social media expert point, then it will have points from a technical perspective. So here we got an action plan which a social media manager will use to grow the business. First, it starts with define your brand and audience. Create compelling content, choose the right platforms, optimize your profiles, engage with your audience, share valuable content, utilize visuals. So see here it takes 10 points because see previously I've said give me 10 points. And to the next also Chat GPT gave 10 points. So if we use Chat GPT in a single window, if we are not clicking on new chat, if we click on new chat, it will give us a new window and the conversation will start from beginning. So Chat GPT is learning as it's conversating, it's talking with us essentially. Here when ChatGPT was giving 8 points, I had mentioned to give me 10 points. So from the next point onwards, even if we didn't mention the amount of points, ChatGPT is generating 10 points on its own. And we can definitely use these points in order to scale up, in order to grow. See how it mentions define your brand, optimize your profiles, engage with your audience, and track your performance. It also mentions collaborate with influencers, and in the conclusion, it says by following this action plan and consistently engaging with your audience on social media, you can effectively scale up and grow your bakery business. If you have further questions or need assistance, feel free to ask. We can create a sub point of this and we can further investigate. We can further ask whatever we want to know. We can get a proper understanding of if we need any other points to further grow in our business. We can do that. Um, okay, suppose in this point, I just went a bit ahead. Here, when I was starting this 10-point action plan, suppose if this thing like if I'm saying create a portfolio for point number two, if I say that I want to know further on this topic, help me with the best strategy to build a business portfolio. So essentially, we are again like in this prompt, what I did is I had a query to ask that I want to know further on this topic. Help me with the best strategy to build a business portfolio. Then I used a separator and then I said create a portfolio. So here it helped me to create a portfolio and like this sub point which was there, I had just pasted it down so it understands and makes the prompt tailored in such a manner that it will highlight this point even though I haven't highlighted it or given any comma. So here it mentions select your best way, select your best work, photograph your products, include specialties, okay, include descriptions and details, continuously improve. So it ends with another conclusion by following the steps and creating a compelling portfolio, highlighting your bakery's products. It will attract potential customers. So these 10 points are definitely helpful into creating a very strong portfolio. Okay. So that's all for today. See you tomorrow.